Good afternoon, ladies and gents. CoisFM is here at Dorsland Restaurant and Theater, and we're very, very honored to have Dean Chancy here, Texan. He's been here quite a few times. This is the first time to Dorsland, which is a new restaurant. So I just wanted to give a brief summary of Dean, what he's done so far. He's got 3 albums out. The first one, which is probably my favorite, It Ain't Easy to Kill a Boer. So that was his first album. The second album, Black Monday, and his third album, He's a Boer. And then he just recently released a single.
God bless the RSA.
God bless the RSA.
I think you know my album better than me, though.
Yeah. So, welcome, and I'm very, very honored to have you.
Believe me, it's my honor. It's my honor.
There's a burning question I need to ask you. How did this all start? Your journey with Boers and farmers in South Africa?
Well, I like to say I was here before you were born, but I don't think I'm going to be able to say it in this case. My first trip was in '89.
Really?
So I was in Jan Kimto. I was putting in farm machinery in Jan Kimto.
Oh!
That's when I fell in love with the Boer, basically, in '89.
Because there was an interview with you I saw on YouTube where you mentioned Jan Kimto. So
that was my first trip.
Okay, cool. So how many times have you been?
Well, I've been back and forth a few times. I had a midlife crisis in '92, and I came on a 3-month visa and overstayed it by 9 months. Stayed for a year, and when I got to the airport, they said, "Well, you're leaving at least." But then some friends in Durban told me that they came looking for me later. So really? I was one of the first illegals here in South Africa, all the way back in '92. So I was there here in '92. Then, when you raise kids, you don't have time to do anything except raise kids. So then I spent 20 years sending my kids to college, raising my kids, trying to keep the boy from killing himself and the girl from getting pregnant. That's not what you say, but it wasn't the case in my case. I have a wonderful daughter. But yeah, so at least my son, I kept him from killing himself until we got to South Africa. And I told him, when you get older, when you get out of college, we'll come back to South Africa, because I always talked about it, and we will ride motorcycles. So we came in December of 2019, and we rode motorcycles for around a month, and we got stuck in COVID. And so then we were stuck in COVID till April. And so during that time, before we had come over here, I had heard Zuma singing Kill the Boer. And to me, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard, well, maybe close to the stupidest thing, because I knew that the Boers weren't that easy to kill. I had, read a little bit of history and stuff like that. So that's what made me write the song, It Ain't Easy to Kill a Boer. So I passed out to about 4 or 5 different people when we were stuck in COVID on WhatsApp. And when I got back to the States, on one flight, the last flight out kind of thing from South Africa, then I got a call from a friend of mine, Willem Petzer, and he said, "Hey," he said, "Dean, I just got your song 13 times in one day." So then I realized it had gone viral, and then people started inviting me to come back and sing. So that was kind of how, long story short, yeah.
I must be honest with you. I've been playing since you released It Ain't Easy to Kill a Boer. I was playing that song every single day when I got my little coffee. For probably a month.
Well, thank you very much for telling me. That means the world to a songwriter to actually write a song that touches people's hearts and people enjoy the future.
So by the way, go to www.deanssongs.com. All his music is there. You can just click on the links. It's for free. You cannot download it, but you can play it. You can listen to it. It's for free.
Yeah. And maybe you can figure out a way to download it. Hopefully.
There was something interesting in that YouTube interview that you mentioned. You said that the Texans and the Boers are they've got very much in common.
I have found South Africa closer to being like Texas, any place else. Family values. There's really 2 Americas now. There's one America that believes in all the things we can't talk about, and then there's America that believes in life starts, the anti-abortion, all these things. So two different Americas, and Texas happens to be still, thank God, in the Christian side of America.
Make America great again.
We can only hope in a year and a half.
We'll see. Okay, then what are you trying to say through your music? I know Black Monday, it ain't easy to feel love, but what are your message with your songs? Because you're a songwriter, but you're also a performer.
No, I think what my message is in my songs is that I want people to know, my friends, the Afrikaners and the Boers. I want them to know that there are people that think about them. There are people that in my case, love them, the people that have been over here. I'll tell you what, for all the farmer, all the young men that go over to the States to work, people just fall in love with them. So we just have so much in common with folks here. And I just wanted to say that there's a lot of good things in this country, and that I think God is still God, and the Red Sea didn't get open until the last second. The Bible is full of those type of miracles. And I don't believe God is in heaven wringing his hands, worried about the Boers in South Africa. So I believe, I want to just bring a little bit of that kind of hope to say, look, here's one guy from the States, from Texas, that said, God loves you. You guys are in the trenches. I'm just over here singing a few songs. I can always run back home. They can throw me out of the country if they want to, whatever. But you guys are the ones in the country. In the trenches, you guys, in my opinion, you all are the heroes. And that's what I try to do in my song. Is to say, look, God's still alive. Don't give up. Remember, we say if you don't remember where you come from, you're not going to remember where you're going. Remember, David. Remember, the people that fought at Blood River. Remember the Great Trek. Remember all the struggles and all the hardships that you've been through. Don't, to the young people, I did something for Boer Media, just talking for the young people, that God has a plan. Be brave, be strong, trust the Lord, get off your phones, there's a world out there that needs your help. And God's got a plan for your life.
Are you working on a new album?
I'm working on a new song, actually, several of them. And we'll do a video of. We're actually going to go up next week. We're going to go up to the Crosses. There's a gentleman named Harry that owns a farm up there, and we're going to film at the Crosses a song that's called "I Know Why the Dirt's So Red." So we'll do that video. And basically, what it is when I started writing the song, I didn't know how to write it, so I just took the names of real people that were killed, that have been, well, we should say murdered and tortured. Instead of just killed, because they weren't killed on accident, they were murdered on purpose. So those people that have been murdered, and I put that in the song. And the song goes, I know why the dirt's so red. So we're going to do the video and just try to bring attention to that. And then I have another song coming out. It's called Enough's Enough. Because I always hear people saying enough's enough. So we're going to talk about the major issues and just say enough's enough. Not what Afrikaans word is saying enough is enough. It's the slim hut. Hutful. Yes. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Are you supposed to say that word though?
You can say it.
You can say it.
No, it's not a
bad word. It's not a swear word.
And then we've got Sana Stein here. She's the manager for Dorsland Restaurant. And I want to ask her a question. Sally, how did you get to come here?
I'm also one of the managers of National Crime Assist, and working with National Crime Assist, I've worked with CoisFM for the media, and so CoisFM can talk with you in South Africa.
Quit. Thank you very much. Sally, thank you very much.
The pleasure is mine.
Well, pleasure may be yours, the honor is fine.
Well, on behalf of CoisFM, I would like to thank all my listeners.
Thank you.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming here. You're a really person that gives us hope. Some people have lost hope. I think you're here to help them.
Well, folks, if you ever see me, come talk to me and tell me a story, because that's how I write my songs.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
God bless you.